And now once again we're joined by meteorologist Oliver Smith. Oliver, do you water your coffee beans before grinding them?
No, I just have the generic coffee machine, but my dad might. I know he uses an espresso machine, so he might.
And what can you tell us about some of the weather coming our way? Because there might be some water coming off the coast, right?
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of water along the Oregon coast in the next couple of days. In fact, we're going to be looking at some rain right now, mostly east of the Cascades. In fact, a few showers over by Klamath Falls, but it's raining lightly over in Lakeview. But west of the Cascades, we're actually fairly clear at this time. Now, zooming all the way out, the whole system that gave us some rain earlier today has moved generally up towards our north. In fact, there's freezing rain along the Columbia Gorge, so that would be a nightmare for travelers trying to head back from east of the Cascades up to the north. Fortunately, we don't have to deal with that. Well, we did have a little freezing rain in eastern Oregon earlier this morning, but that has since blown on off and warmed up. So this big area of swirl out here, this big area of low pressure is all going to be moving to our area, and that's going to be our windstorm over the next couple of days. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but we could see some patchy fog with a little bit of some clearing if we get the clearing. Here in Medford tonight, 39 is forecast, low 47 out. And Brookings, temperatures right around freezing or above into the Shasta Valley, and east of the Cascades, chilly 20s and 30s for you folks over there. Now for tomorrow, temperatures are going to be mild because we're going to have a warm front move through tomorrow, and temperatures climbing again, 57 in Medford, 53 in Grants Pass, upper 40s east side, right around 50 degrees. Down to our south and right near 60 degrees along the Oregon coast. So we'll have some remnant showers for the rest of the night tonight, and we could see some clearing, especially once we get closer towards morning. So we could see some low clouds and fog developing close to sunrise. And then here's our weak warm front. This is it. It's a very slim chance of rain for tomorrow, but that'll help temperatures to climb. Now, once we get towards Wednesday morning, we'll start seeing our leading edge of that system that we were just looking at moving on shore, and that is going to be a doozy because we're going to be looking at some pretty significant rain. Eventually, that rain will change over to high elevation snow, so the snow level will be pretty high, about 6,000 feet. But then once we get towards Wednesday evening, we'll be looking at the chance of thunderstorms, especially along the Oregon coast. Now, once we go through the rest of the day on Wednesday, we'll continue with the showers and thunderstorms mainly up to our north. We'll stay relatively dry here. And then Thursday morning, again, we could have that chance of some fog in our region. But offshore, our next system is quickly approaching. So Thursday, at least for the most part, could be partially dry, and then we'll see more rain again. Now, speaking of rain for our system for Tuesday night into Wednesday, we're going to be looking at 1 to 2 inches along the Oregon coast. For the Coast Range, Cascades, and the southwestern Siskiyou Mountains, roughly about an inch, give or take about 1/4 of an inch. Now for the Shasta and the Rogue Valleys, generally about 1/3 of an inch or less, so more or less about 1/10 of an inch to 1/3 of an inch, and light amounts east side, generally less than 1/10 of an inch. So that wind event, we're going to be starting with that. So we have a wind advisory from 4 p.m. Tuesday to 7 p.m. on Wednesday. That's all areas shaded in tan. So for the for the Rogue Valley extending east towards eastern Curry County, we're going to be looking at wind gusts to 50 miles an hour being possible. Now we're looking at the high wind warning, which is from 4 a.m. Wednesday to 4 a.m. Thursday. That's for the Shasta Valley and all of east of the Cascades, and we could be looking at wind gusts to 60 miles an hour. So that's very significant because semi-trucks can be blown over with those kinds of wind gusts. We have another chance of some gusty winds on Friday, although nowhere near as severe, but we could be looking at maybe 20 to 30, maybe even 40 miles an hour east of the Cascades for them. Now, in terms of traveling over the Cascades, Saturday into Sunday, we'll be looking at the snow level drop to about 4,500 feet, but precipitation is actually going to be fairly light. So it's not really going to be very impactful for New Year's travel over the Cascades. A lot of rain over the next several days, mostly into California, but you can see here precipitation forecast. Most of the rain will be on Wednesday. We get a little bit of break though on Thursday and into Friday, and then late Friday into Saturday, more rain into the region. So here's our forecast for the Oregon coast. Temperatures in the 50s and low 60s, so very warm conditions, but it'll be windy Wednesday and again on Friday with some showers for New Year's Eve. For Northern California, temperatures in the 40s and 50s for the next several days. Our driest day will be on Thursday, and then again for just in time for New Year's Eve. For the Klamath Basin, upper 40s for the most part. And then we peak on Friday. Temperatures cool overnight. We'll be looking at some rain and snow for Wednesday, but relatively dry though for Tuesday, Thursday, and into Friday. For the Cascades, plenty of rain and snow will eventually be coming, but we'll have to wait until we get towards the end of the week and into early next weekend. But then we won't be seeing a whole significant amount. In fact, maybe 2 to 4 inches, and that's really all about what we're going to be looking at. That's for now, but we'll have continued updates here in the next several days. And here in the Rogue Valley, very warm temperatures flirting with 60 degrees by Friday, but we're going to have a windy and rainy Wednesday.